This is Sarah Butcher with the Side Comment. Dr. Andrea Temkin-Yu, author of the new guidebook, Supporting Your Teen's Mental Health, joins us today to talk about the small, intentional activities that all parents of teens can adopt in order to focus on building connections and combating the rise of mental health symptoms in adolescents.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Temkin-Yu, and I'm a clinical psychologist at Weill Cornell Medicine. I'm also the author of Supporting Your Teen's Mental Health, Science-Based Parenting Strategies for Repairing Relationships and Helping Young People Thrive. In this episode, I will be sharing 5 tips for building connection with your child. Did you know that approximately 1 in 7 kids under the age of 19 will experience a mental health disorder, and that many more have emotional or behavioral difficulties even if they do not meet the threshold for a diagnosis? With rising rates of mental health concerns among youth, it's particularly important for parents and caregivers to proactively find ways to support their children. Fortunately, we know that increased connection can be a helpful buffer against things like anxiety and low mood. And there are some great research-backed tools caregivers can use. Tip 1. Carve out 5 minutes of daily one-on-one time with your child. With everything that families have going on each week, it can be incredibly useful to schedule in dedicated, focused time to connect. During these 5 minutes, put distractions away and engage with your child around activities they enjoy. For young kids, this might be coloring or playing with blocks, while tweens and teens might prefer to take a short walk or share the latest social media trend. Regardless of the activity, your job is to focus on interacting with your child in a positive way. This is a chance to demonstrate through your actions that you're interested in your kid and willing to find space for them. Because you're letting them take the lead on the activity, there's less of a chance that you butt heads. If any problem behaviors do pop up during the 5 minutes, such as interrupting or rude language, do your best to ignore it. Simply focus on your shared activity and what your child is doing well. You can always have a teachable moment later in the day where you address your concerns, but the 5-minute one-on-one time is your chance to just sit back and connect with your kid. Most parents find that their kids love one-on-one time and look forward to it each day. Parents also enjoy the opportunity to be present with their child without the interruptions of work or to-do lists. Another great benefit is that introducing one-on-one time can actually decrease other problem behaviors during the day, which means lower frustration for you and fewer arguments overall. If you have a hard time fitting this into your schedule each day, aim for at least a few days a week. Tip 2. Set up a conflict-free zone during the day. Many caregivers feel that almost every interaction they have with their child turns into a fight. When this happens, everybody in the house starts to expect the worst and are quick to become defensive or negatively interpret other people's actions or words. Over time, this becomes exhausting, and it's difficult for families to enjoy time together. While dedicated one-on-one time is a great way to reverse this cycle, it can sometimes be hard to do consistently because of busy schedules or a teen who'd rather do their own thing. If that's the case in your household, plan out 15 to 20 minutes of the day to be a conflict-free zone. During this time, avoid any hot-button topics that might lead to tension or arguments. This means avoiding questions about whether the chores are done or what homework is left. While those things may be important to you, you can address them at another time. Remember that conflict-free zone is designed to create a portion of the day when parents and children can peacefully coexist without badgering or conflict. While you can't guarantee that your child will follow your lead, do your best to steer clear of stress-inducing topics. And try not to take the bait if they say things in frustration or anger. This is a chance for you to model calm, connected behaviors that prioritizes your relationship. Over time, consistent use of conflict-free zone can lower the tension in the house and reset positive connections. Tip 3. Find opportunities to praise your child. Kids have a lot on their plates and are facing mounting stressors every day. With all they have going on, they deserve recognition for the positive things they do. Labeled praise is a specific kind of praise where you highlight the exact behavior, characteristic, or progress your child has made. That might include thanking them for being so independent getting to school in the morning, or showing appreciation for how calm they stayed when their sibling was annoying, or maybe calling attention to how creative, hardworking, or persistent they could be when tackling tasks or projects. Labeled praise is a great way to shine a light on what your child is doing well, which will increase the overall number of positive interactions you have with them and give their self-worth a major boost. Keep in mind that you don't only want to praise behavior that is above and beyond amazing. Praise the everyday stuff too, even if it feels ordinary or expected. While it can feel like overkill to some, most adults can appreciate how nice this is. For example, even though it's a parent's job to have food in the house, it feels way better when kids thank you for getting dinner on the table. It's the same way for kids. So showing appreciation for basic behaviors or tasks can still be meaningful. Parents also find that the more they practice praise, the more they notice how great their kid can be. This upward spiral goes a long way at building connection and helping kids feel appreciated for their good efforts and qualities. Tip 4, practice reflection. Reflection is a skill that caregivers can use to confirm or acknowledge what their child has said. It can be as simple as repeating back what you hear instead of trying to problem solve or get them to see a new perspective. So when your child says, "I hate my teacher," it might be tempting to say, "What are you talking about? Your teacher's great." But reflection would mean simply saying, "Oh, you hate your teacher." Reflection is a great way to let your kids know that you're paying attention without judgment or trying to change their mind. This can feel super supportive and open up the door to more conversation. So going back to our example, when you reflect that your child hates their teacher, you leave space for them to give you more information about the situation without them getting defensive. If instead of using reflection, you jump to that first reaction and said, "What are you talking about? Your teacher's great," your child is more likely to shut down. Even if you are well-intentioned, they might feel like you wouldn't understand or take their side and will end the conversation before you really have the chance to help. Tip 5, increase validation. Like reflection, validation is a communication tool parents can use to help kids feel supported and understood without judgment. Validation means showing somebody that their experience or emotion makes sense based on their situation. For example, telling your child that you can see why they would be angry about having to do homework because video games are more fun. Or acknowledging that it makes sense for them to be nervous about their test because they care a lot about their grades. Validation is not the same thing as agreeing or approving of your child's position or perspective. Saying you can see where they're coming from is not the same thing as you telling them you feel the same way or would behave in the same manner. Validation also doesn't force you to change household expectations or cave on rules. You can recognize how frustrating it must be for a kid to be grounded after they get caught sneaking out, even if you stand by your decision to give a consequence. If you have concerns about using validation, remember that the skill is really just about acknowledging your child's point of view in the same way we hope they can do for others. When kids feel validated, they feel more understood and connected to caregivers. It can decrease anxiety and distress and lower shame that they might have about their emotions. While validation won't solve every problem or prevent every fight, it's an important building block to strong relationships. In sum, remember that building connection is an important way to support kids and teens and help combat the rising rates of youth mental health symptoms that many are experiencing. These 5 tips are a great way to get started. Thanks for listening.